have to focus on the task.
What is your
at hand.
go-to fast food?
You're going to get a one-sided dino game yet again here. Can
When I
Sentinels
think
show
of
us how it's
fast
done
food,
this time?
I think of a place that has a
dino
drive-through, chat. I'm
on
not
your
talking
side,
about,
you can
like,
really bully
I
your
don't count
opposition.
Five Guys as fast food.
Already
It doesn't have a
starting off, the
drive-through.
theme of the day, everybody, is controlling your own destiny, and Tuesday controlling the point already with a high ground position off this portal play before swapping off.
I really like
with
In-N-Out,
Dr.
but I
Strange,
think
making
my
sure everybody
fast
is
food
vaccinated
place,
up
I
before
like
going
In-N-Out.
over
I
to
would
the
say
outside.
In-N-Out's
I
my
like
favorite
this.
because
You're
I
gonna
don't
be
get it
playing
a lot, and
more
when I
from
go over
afar
to the West
after you
Coast, I
get the
love it, and
positional
it's cheap.
advantage up on the
I would
high
probably say
ground,
Wendy's.
trying to
I love
negate that of
Wendy's.
Sentinels, who now are forced to go over to the right side, as already
actually
Cozy
really
mentioned,
do like
Crimzo
Wendy's.
being on that Devil Dino, Dogman also on the Emma, and now you have Techie trying to match that too, but with the grab and the clapback, it's going to be Rymazing.
Oh, they have
Rymazing
on support.
that team up with the Luna.
Okay,
This is
GG
why
chat.
it's so important for Sen to ban that Mantis, because if FlyQuest are going to be playing a bit more of poke going into a Devil Dino with that Mantis, it would be very difficult to deal with. Alas, there is not going to be a Mantis for FlyQuest, so instead they're going to have to try and make it work with the Elsa plus the Phoenix, which is still plenty of damage.
Why
But at
the
the moment, they are
Sentinels
gonna have to try
put
and
their
force back Sen, and
best
they have done that.
player
They've got control
on
of
a
this first
triple
point, and if we've
support,
learned
bro?
anything
Oh my god,
from
wait,
that
where's
first series, Vicky,
Madara?
gaining control
They
of this
actually
first
might
point
be
here,
able to
being
make
able
the
to be somewhat
playoffs.
aggressive into your opposition spawn, makes it very difficult for them to break through.
It's kind of like the topic of domination and why it's so detrimental in a best of 3, where you really only have that. Look at damage he got put in the microwave.
Now they put him
Alright,
to
but he gets
DPS.
healed back up, and if anything, it acts as a battery as we also make some adjustments, because Rymazing off the White Fox going over to the Daredevil instead, and it's to deal also with Melio and Tusi, who Melio already has that end song Inferno to try to deal a lot of that extra pressure.
Look how tight FlyQuest are playing as a unit. I mean, something like a Jeff could delete all of them if they had a Jeff available, but now Rymazing getting up, down and dirty and in the face, but not able to take down Melio.
This is
And
why
again,
I
that
say
tightness just
RNG
eliminates the
maps
chance to get
suck,
those
man.
picks on
I'm
the
sorry,
back
I
line.
don't think
FlyQuest have the
maps
advantage,
that
and the
move
invisible
or
boundary
do all
gets
that stuff
forced
are
out.
good.
This is so much damage. The invisible boundary out to at least try to keep him alive, but now the green light for Yusha to go in for the Galactic Legend finds Zello. That is 3 off the table from FlyQuest, and no running as Melio is the next to get wiped out. But when you call in that early invisible boundary here, it just allows Sentinels to move up together as Oasis and Yusha were able to go side by side to claim the point.
Yeah, they threw everything at them there, Sentinels, didn't they? FlyQuest, they probably thought they had the advantage in the fight. They got that initial pick, but Sen were like, look, we've got these ults to use. Let's make sure we just use them in tandem, and we should be able to delete FlyQuest, and they did successfully. And now they're going to try and do the same thing. Pin FlyQuest back here. Don't allow them to get through. And because FlyQuest were on so much poke, they've switched over to their own Daredevil, and Melio has been able to get the pick
We didn't
on the
even see
Rymazing.
that ult.
Great
We just
switch
heard
up for
release
FlyQuest.
the
I love
Glartrox
this
and
here
didn't
too.
see
Already
it.
calling out that Rymazing being on the Daredevil could be a problem here for this backline, and Melio now clapping back is going to be able to find 2 more, taking advantage over the number advantage and finding 4 in total, make it 5. It is a wipeout here as FlyQuest dominating another
FlyQuest.
team
Wait,
fight,
this
already
might be my
nearing
first
80%
prediction I
on
get
point.
wrong today, chat. Wait a minute.
So impressive from FlyQuest. The switch over, just straight away. No ego, no wanting to stay on the same hero. Moving over immediately to try and combat what Sen were able to break through with. And now at 90%, FlyQuest just need to hold one more defensive battle here, and Sentinels will have to look towards round 2.
And they have the Kumio Unleashed that they actually use up very early because
Are
you're
they
near
gonna touch
99%.
point?
You want to prevent them from contesting on the point. Rymazing at least forces it into overtime right on par. He can let out the Devil here, and Flame is going to put them in
why did
position.
no one go
Gets
on the
an
point, bro?
introduction from Techie, but Yusha still allows to mark down Melio. Now you have that matched up from Dogman, who has a Psionic Seduction themselves, just so that way they can bring Cart into their line of sight. Still up in numbers, so as Sentinel get to regroup, Rymazing still holding on to letting the Devil out, and just trying to split more attention as the Rampage lets loose from Crimzo.
Yeah, Rymazing,
Nice.
it's eyes on.
If they live
Devil
this,
is
if they
available,
live
but you
this,
are
he has
gonna
a
see
free
Dance
ult.
Off now.
Nice.
Popped by FlyQuest just to try and sustain here. Not much overtime to work
Yeah,
with on the
let
side
the
of
Devil
Sen, so
out. He's gonna
Rymazing
go
says,
in.
look, the time is
Wait.
now. I have to pop let the Devil out. It is Yusha, though, who gets 1. Crimzo's gone down on the other side as well.
Oh, good
He got
survivability.
frozen and almost melted. He was waiting for the Fate of Both Worlds to end to then let the Devil out, and now we're having the 1v1 as Yusha had a lot more health to mark down Melio, but it's going to be another shutdown.
Yo,
as Tusi takes a different
FlyQuest is looking
off
like a
angle,
really
and you have
good
Cart trying to
team, bro.
make
They're not
space.
looking like the team that they were in
Is going to be there for Tusi as well. And the
preseason.
FlyQuest, they very quickly re-engage, and now they have the extra
The
player
first
on the
time
map
I-
too.
so
Here
this is the
their
first time I
Glartrox.
voted in
They
your
steal
channel, you
away
decided
the
to give me
Dino,
the
and the
wrong
Dino
team.
is going to be
It's not
absolutely
my
peppered
fault.
as Crimzo taken down. So is Dongman. Flame is the next to fall, and Sen, they need a portal, but I'm not sure they're going to have the time. They're going to try and sustain here and delay, but FlyQuest have bullied them off the point. Crimzo switches over. Can you get the touch?
A buffet for the Glartrox and even more space for free here for FlyQuest. It's gonna proc here.
Just
The portal. They try to look at the pixel there, and you let the devil out though from Melio. They're gonna expend this ultimate, now hold it for the next round, and now you have the Galactic Legend to match it here just to trying to melt them down.
And melt they shall.
that was a
FlyQuest
little
will
ball.
lose
That was a little
Melio, and
ballsy.
Sentinels are holding on at the moment, but they cannot afford to step off of this point. And they also take down Yusha, so the duelists have been eliminated. But Rymazing, back in the face of things, does take down Car. And FlyQuest are possibly going to have to give this one up. You can see they're starting to back off a little bit as Sen start
they
to
have the
move
better-
up, but
they have
they're
the better
also
support
dropping
ult.
like flies. Very difficult fight to try and win out here for Sen.
The fact that they also had Techie over on the Vampool, they get the Banhammer. Crimzo gets off, he flies too high up. And this first round goes in favor for FlyQuest.
Yo,
Sentinels, they threw everything in the kitchen
FlyQuest.
sink, Dan. But even FlyQuest were forced to expend that Luna ultimate just so that way they could secure it.
Well, FlyQuest, again, just trying to change the tide here in this group and make everyone second-guess themselves a little bit. It's very difficult
Crimzo
to try
4
and
and
guess who was going to be
5.
able
Come
to take
on.
the win in this one for me in
Come
this
on,
series.
Crimzo.
We coined it the series of the day, and I think
The
for good
game's
reason.
not over,
We can
chat.
see a
Stop
lot of back and
complaining
forth
about
between
your
these two
points,
teams. It's
bro.
a very
The game's not even
interesting
over.
pick and ban phase, but once more, we get to see how difficult it can be to be the solo
Before I
dino,
take
but
your
also,
points away from you.
if you know how to play against it, you can really punish. I mean, the Glartrox in that initial fight was massive, by the way. Being able to isolate a dino, it's so easy to burn down a dino when you're able to remove them away from those strategists. The hitbox is
It's
so
not a
easy, they
scam.
get absolutely deleted. And FlyQuest will find themselves a round up here in map 1.
Yeah, basically the Glartrox has enough food to last them till next year, just off that dino alone. It's insane here. It'd been pretty hard to not hit that too with how big Devil Dino is, but it's also clearing so much space. And look at the fight right here over to the high ground of the platform. We see no time is going to be FlyQuest here.
Yo,
The
what's
group
up,
walls
Dad?
now
How you
in
doing?
front
How
of
you
Tucci's
doing? Hope
face
you're
as
having a great
Crimzo makes
day.
the adjustment. Currently just
Hope
trying
you're
to
having a
rally up
great
everybody's going to be
weekend,
zealous,
chat.
popping
Dad,
in the Kumio
I hope you have a
Unleashed.
great weekend,
And
Dad.
Tucci has that Glartrox again. Dogman could go on a rampage, but he could get stuffed out. As Cart fights LeMay first, the sustain won't be the same here, as Sentinels really only has to rely on the invis from Oasis. Now the rampage comes in, Crimzo's literally one shot. He doesn't have the Strangling Prison, and he's the next to fall, as FlyQuest have the number advantage.
Playing against a good Cap, man, it's just so difficult. Captain America, so oppressive,
Smart
and the fact
Doofus,
you were able to
Krishna's
remove
new
that
tier
strategist
1 sub, my
that
friend.
quickly.
Welcome.
It
And
means
Bell.
FlyQuest will be the first to get the point again
Bellum,
here
you
in round
cat?
2. So
Krishna's a
Sen
prime sub,
gonna have
sorry.
to try and answer back. They do have ults available. The Ensong Inferno from Rymazing perhaps can be used in conjunction with a little
you
bit
guys
of
are so
damage
nice
to
to my
eliminate
dad,
the back
but
line
you're
of
so mean to
FlyQuest.
me.
But with Glartrox available, Techie also has ult up as well. FlyQuest have answers.
Yo, also,
And Cart is so flexible too. Strangling Prison now brings him in.
They
Ooh, big pick onto Tuzi. Now you will have the
They
Glartrox
solo
at least in
ulted
this fight.
Tuzi?
Ensong Inferno from Rymazing after
And
he made
they're
this up
still
over Phoenix.
losing the
Unfortunately,
fight?
doesn't land. It's Mark here as Techie is able to mark down Rymazing. That's a back-to-back, by the way, that we've been seeing Techie mark Rymazing. Get to see the focus here, the Manhammer as well. They get the grab and the chomp as Sentinels now are trying to force their way through the choke.
But again, look at the amount of time that is being scored on the point by FlyQuest by just taking that fight to Sentinels near to their spawn in their own half. Finally, Sen are able to get a touch, but is it going to be enough? Because Tuzi is now back in the game. The Glartrox came out. They were able to get 2, but Sen do answer back. It's an absolute brawl on the point at the moment, but who's going to be able to convert is the real question. Everyone trying to dance around to survive. Yusha finally is able to get one onto Tuzi, and it looks like Sen have just been able to win this one out, and FlyQuest have to reset.
I saw that cheeky angle to see that Glartrox, by the way, coming out of the left side, caught the strategist from the side of Sentinels. I saw Rymazing make that quick swap up
I lost
over
all my
to
money
the
listening to
Ultron.
Jay
So
last
Sentinels maybe relying on what they feel is very comfortable. But
I
it didn't
am
really
4
reap them
for
that
4
success that
right
we've seen
now.
in the earlier stages of our group stages, and Tusi has just been on fire. Now Melly and Velocity.
wait,
have
wasn't
these
there a
ultimates to
match
work with here,
today
Dan.
that they lost the
Melio
first map
not
and I told you
popping it
guys to
just
trust
yet,
me
though.
and they
Waiting
came
for the
back and
right
won?
time, also seeing what is really going to be on
It
the
was
side of
Shikigami.
Sentinels. Are there any ults pop? Can you actually isolate one of these players? But it's just a little bit of damage, which will allow Invisible Boundary now to be popped here from Oasis.
Well, a little early here, but they did find Velocity, so that was actually really on point. Rymazing then finding 2 to follow
There
up.
we
They're
go.
nearing already
Oh, Rymazing is
45%,
back on the support
and now
on the
they have
Ultron.
momentum
Okay.
swinging on their side.
Ultron
They did
reporting
expend
for
the invisible
duty.
boundary, but they will have Flamme with the Fate of Bolt Force for
Sentinels
survivability,
love that
as
triple
Melio can
support,
let the
man.
double out,
They
but
love
Zealous
that
and
triple
Velocity
support.
can stagger these strategist ults.
Rymazing just seems to be comfortable when he's in the air. Doesn't matter if it's Iron Man, whether it's going to be an Ultron. Getting the job done as FlyQuest are now forced back and Sen starting to score. And we'll be closing in on taking the lead here on this point. But again, still eyes on Melio. Are you able to get behind that back line and utilize Let the Devil Out here to try and do some damage?
Kind of forcing it out,
we go.
though, after finding Usher. He's going to try to do the Beyblade
Oh,
spin
popped
to
out,
win,
popped
and
out.
now the survivability to allow Melio to stay up. It's a dance-off between Velocity and Flamme with the fate of both worlds, and Cart has all the survivability to help stagger on this point, too. He's stalling now as he's going to go berserk, and now the Explanation coming in from the Ultra for Rymazing. They lost on Usher, though, and that's very big. He had the Galactic Legend ready to go, and 2C's still holding onto the End-Song Inferno just to go in for a reset.
Nice reset, as you say, but 2C's now going to be just backing up and dealing a bit of extra damage as well. End-Song Inferno is there to try and convert more, but alongside Cart, they are
I don't know about that ult.
four, actually, in the end.
I'm not a
Sen will back
professional
up. FlyQuest
player, but I
regain the
don't think
point
that
at
ult was
97.
needed, chat.
So now Sen are going to have to break here as FlyQuest going to be very close to not just taking this round, Vicky, but of course taking this game and being up 1-0 as we move into the second. So Sentinels, though, they do have Galactic Legend to work in this next, and FlyQuest are all out of ult.
That's what I was a little worried about, right? Because that was a very expensive fight for FlyQuest. Even Melio making the change up over to the Psylocke, now having the 1v1 duel before getting some help together with Cart. But it's Crimzo making the swap over to the Angela, noting that they have to contest on this point. It's going to be incredibly close between both of these teams. Sentinels want to take it to a round number 3.
Oh, they froze Usher's ult! They stunned it!
Away. That was massive.
They froze
here.
his
Look back on
That's
that.
a
Velocity
huge
get that
stun,
freeze now. You gotta
chat.
get the Beyblade here together from Usher. Rymazing getting shut down afterwards, but that was a win con that Sentinels wanted to rely on.
Yeah, boy, did they need it, and now without it, they are dropping. They are at just 3 people still alive. Someone has to try and sustain and hold, and maybe hope that Rymazing can get a touch, but it's not going to happen.
Oh my God, bro, that
will
stun,
take the first
that stun carried it.
And boy, oh boy,
They had no support ults. He was about a Star-Lord ult for free. No, we gotta see that
They
again.
had figured things out. They came out of the gates with some different compositions for that second week, but that was massive. It could have been an Exile, it could have been a Charm, but that was insane to see a shutdown and also ult tracking on the side of FlyQuest. That was crazy here and a great performance to open up our best of 3 for our second series of the day. It's only gonna get better. Everybody strap in. We'll find out where our map number 2 is going to take us after this break.
Yep, chat, you heard her, bro. Strap in and strap on. It's gonna be a good game. Hey. The reason against Shikigami game, I told you guys Shikigami was gonna win. Reason won the King of the Hill match, and then Shikigami came up and ended up winning the 2 games for a reverse sweep. So, hey, Sentinels can still do this if they start out Rymazing on DPS and not any of this triple support shit. I don't know why Sentinels... If this was roll queue, Sentinels would be like 0 and 10 by now because they rely on triple support so much, bro. They need to stop. What? My jerk older brother asked me if I'm watching the Nerd Super Bowl SMH. Tell your brother he probably kisses girls. Fucking weirdo. No, we only kiss the homies around here, bro. We only kiss the boys. If you don't kiss your homies to sleep, you're not a homie.
What are you aiming at?
Who do you have winning it all? Winning it all? Oh, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think for NA, maybe Team Liquid Citadel, but I don't know. I don't know any. I don't want to say who's gonna win like the LAN event, because I actually don't. There's some Asia teams that are really cracked, but I don't know. I haven't really watched them myself, so I can't really. Ooh, that guy lived. Wow, Finzi, insane. Yeah. How much is this plastic board? I need that. What, this thing? I don't know. I bought it a long time ago, like 2 years ago. I just started using it because it was in my room. I never used it in a long time. I used to do educational content with that. Remember, chat? Professor 3? I can't imagine it being expensive. It's probably 50 bucks, 50, 70 bucks. I tried educational content for a little bit. I just didn't like it, man. I mean, Professor 3 was cool, but I can't. I'm not an educational streamer, man. Whiteboards on Amazon for similar size are around 200 to 300. Oh, Jesus. Inflation. I don't remember paying 200 bucks for that. If I saw that was 200 bucks, I would not buy it. Whoa, with the glasses, LOL. Yeah, it was awful. Whoa, my educational content was not bad. It was funny. I'm just not a good teacher, dude. I just don't think I will ever be a good teacher. Hey, J3, how do you win games? I don't know. Just don't lose. Hey, J3, how do I beat the other team and win? Well, if you kill them before they kill you, you live. Honey Badger with the massive gifted sub. Appreciate it, my friend. Oh my God. Why am I getting spoiled today? Thank you. This looks amazing. Ooh, that looks amazing. Oh my God, chat, look what Emily made. What did I do to deserve this? Oh.
You made me angry. We are undefeatable.
She made, well, poutine and oh my God, look how big that is. Oh my God. Oh my God, what did I do to deserve this? Woo! Thank you. Hold up, chat. I gotta tell Emily something. I gotta mute real quick because I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna tongue punch your fart box later. Okay. Sorry. Hello? Yo, hard stuck. Let's change topics. Yo, hard stuck Platish with the 10 gifted subs. Absolutely insane. What did you make yourself to eat?
Allies with grace, but spare no mercy for those who cross you,
what?
outfitting with Iron Man and Sentinels and amazing right now. You guys can get these amazing skins in game with the Iron Samurai and Mantis's new skin available June 5th. So just about right now, go grab them. You Iron Man and Mantis mains again available now. The call for glory calls, and gotta say, with that map result, we can take a look at how it finished. And what I just want to highlight is we've continued to talk about the players on this team and the new additions that FlyQuest has made. Can we just give some love to the Vanguards? You have Techie who's going against his former team that did not re-sign right and is now on a new team.
To a team that's actually not doing that bad.
Cart just made a play that we wanted to dissect. We've got to see now a couple of angles off of in the green room of a Hulk exile that was, you know, sometimes it's a flashy play. And sometimes it's just as simple as, and not simple, a mid-jump exile, Vicky, to stop the Star-Lord ult there from Yusher.
I wish they showed it to us.
Dude, and they called it out perfectly. Like, the fact that Cart was... We were talking about it, right? We had missed it off the camera right there. We were looking at the fact that the Star-Lord had ult, just to hear that he got stopped in the middle of it. Saw the reset to 52% on the ultimate charge. And it was Cart that gets the jump exile. I'm like... Was there a freeze, a charm? There were so many opportunities there that they all had to start looking at the Galactic Legend. Guess who was ready? Front row seats, Cart. He was the bouncer that bounced him off the point and helped the rest of his team secure that dub for that first map.
And how fitting, right? Because Cart's been playing everything but Hulk and now going in at the last minute to get such a clutch play like that Gaskin. And we talked about it. If FlyQuest wins this entire group all of a sudden gets mega giga complicated, right? And all of a sudden Sentinels that looked so comfy, cozy, you might say, are looking like they could be the ones that facing up an elimination match.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly there's a potential for a three-way tie. There's a potential that we just see FlyQuest win out, go through, and then it becomes NRG versus Sen on the last day. Winner goes through, loser goes home. But that's if we get there, right? There is still a lot to play here. But what we've learned is definitely Cart looks so much more comfortable in this team the further we've got through this season. When he was first added, there was, you know, is he going to be as comfortable because he's not able to play Hulk as much? He looked brilliant so far today, and I'm very excited to see what he can do going into this next one.
Well, I think we've got the replay to check out the angle from
Cart's
point of view.
Yes!
Just,
Huge production W.
The amount of skill to pull
Huge
this off
production W. Let's see this.
It was so much on the line and the call-outs. You have to try to be sneaky here as Yusha if you want to get this off. And they just track this thing through the ult tracking. Look at this beauty. I mean...
What?
Disgusting.
What the hell?
Crazy at top level of play. And
Holy
Vicky,
shit!
Again, it's not just
wait, let's go see that again. They're gonna talk for a little bit. No, I gotta see that again.
And through the ult and the call outs, you have to try to be sneaky here as Yusha if you want to get this off. And they just track this thing through the ult track.
He's right there, chat. He's right there, about to pop his ult. He jumps in the air.
Look at this beauty.
Hits that flick. You see him come down. The hell? And he stopped his ult. Holy shit, bro. Wait, can I slow it down?
It's off, and they just...
Sorry.
Just track this thing through the ult.
0.25 speed.
Tracking it. Look at this beauty.
Look at this beauty. Okay. Let's go back to normal speed. I don't know what's going on over here.
Dino struggling again, like just not able to find that victory at the moment. It's anti-Dino teams are winning out, and it was the way FlyQuest adjusted. You know, they were playing a very poke-heavy comp to begin with, and then as soon as the break happened, they realized they were going to struggle to get out of spawn with said poke. So they switch Melio over to a little bit of dive. It works out perfectly. They get the break of their own, and then it was constantly being able to switch back and forth. Melio was on 3 or 4 different heroes in the end, and just was a pleasure to watch FlyQuest find that success. Sentinels, they came very close, and they certainly were also trying to adapt and make changes here or there, but FlyQuest have just looked better and better each week here.
In some ways, Sentinels remind me of Yeah, We Lost, because you gotta get what you get from them. And what I mean by that, right? You're gonna get the Iron Mans, you're gonna get the pennies, like things just are gonna be a little crazy, and it's gonna get you some crazy wins, right? You're gonna win against 100 Thieves in a matchup that people maybe thought was gonna go their way, but then also you'll have these bands that maybe wouldn't work against other teams that I think kind of lend themselves to more favor in the hero pool selection. So many great players, Vicky, but to me, it just feels like the pig ban. Well, we had a black hat save. I didn't see a black hat once, right? It's just, I don't know if that was bait. It was a bit odd.
Yeah, and then rolling out with White Fox, right? Like, that was interesting. And then you have to consider, like, if you're going to have to expend a save like that, pretty expensive in the pick and ban phase. I'm predicting that we're probably going to move on to Museum of Contemplation, as we're going to find out. Oh, wow, surprise, surprise. All right, because obviously Sentinels, in their last previous series that they've played on in the last 2 weeks, have been relying on Museum of Contemplation to turn things around when they have lost out in that first game.
Yeah, this part of the stream is brought to you by, once again, Museum of Contemplation. Go visit it today. I mean, it's crazy that all teams believe this is their map. But you know what? After we saw Iron Man, Tony Stark in the sky, I mean, with so much on the line right now, if I was Sentinels, I'd be picking this team. Where else he going, right? And again, if you missed it, this is where we saw a really interesting comp of Punisher and Iron Man. I've gone up against this comp. It's tough, Gaskin, because there's so much firepower, both high and low.
Yeah, it's actually very oppressive and horrible to play against, and I wouldn't be surprised if something similar is brought out. That being said, FlyQuest, if they've done their homework, maybe they're going to prepare for it, not necessarily through picks and bans, but also just being ready to adapt in that moment for switches of their heroes in general, as we get the usual Gambit bans to start us off, and then Sen going to protect that Rocket Raccoon, which, you never know, might lead us toward that comp that you were speaking of.
Oh, man. Remember, guys, if Fly wins this, they go against, I believe, Nightmare last, right? So it's like they're sitting pretty. All right? So we'll put it that way without disrespecting, I guess, anybody. But, yeah, taking a look here and going into it, we've got the first save going over to the Raccoon. Once again, FlyQuest, oh, man, that's a tough matchup, right? FlyQuest getting Tuesday's pick, also being able to have that in-song that can, shut down the Raccoon.
Oh, yeah, it's actually crazy, too, because then you shut down the rocket from the other side, so you don't want to get the damage boost on top of it all. The double Mantis ban, I'm not surprised to see that, too. You don't want to have that one-sided Mantis, although we did have that available in our previous series, and it wasn't utilized there, but it wasn't really needed, too, because something to highlight is how great of a map this is for Loki, and that's something else that Sentinels could keep in mind here, because obviously FlyQuest have no issue with velocity flexing over from the Luna to the Loki if they need, depending on what side they're starting on, seeing that they are on the defense.
Yeah, and we continue to see this too, Gaskin, where it's like you want to look at the Luna and the Invis. We continue to bring this up, and some teams prefer to have more of that utility with the Invis, or some just want to have that extra firepower. And with Dino out of the equation, at least for the end of Sentinels, I mean, what way do they go here for the last save?
Honestly, it's tough because they've got a few avenues they could head towards. There's a few heroes that they've definitely been leaning towards and more comfortable. You could go for something like a White Fox to save if you're worried about that backline dive as well. But Emma Frost, after the ban, I guess makes sense because then it's a one-sided Emma Frost, and we have seen how well Emma Frost goes into a Dino. That being said, FlyQuest, they get rid of the Captain America, which again, I think is an important one.
Honestly, that's the perfect one to hit, right? Because now you get the uncomfortability. You don't have Dino, and at this point, you're going to have Emma for Dongman, and you thought Crimson was going to go over to Cap. So now you just have a bit of this awkwardness of what way they want to go. They saw the keys to success, Vic, with 100 Thieves versus them in that matchup. And it looks like they did their homework, protecting the duelists and shutting down the Vanguard line.
Yeah, actually also being able to note that they're splitting up those bands between the Vanguards and that back line too, right? You're trying to force out more of these compositions, but flexibility is the name of the game when it comes to the level of competition that we're looking at here.
Is it worth learning?
That's why only 4 of our teams make it through into the playoffs, but FlyQuest now are currently sitting at match points, and all is on the line, determining on if Sentinels get to keep that cushion right underneath them, or is it going to start shaking up this group?
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting and nerve-wracking game for probably both teams, but in particular, Sentinels here, they were probably coming into this one feeling relatively confident
they're putting
after their performances.
They're putting Rye-mazing on the Iron Man.
Position where a win here would have really sent them through to playoffs, and now suddenly they're scratching their heads a little bit, saying, "Oh, wait,
they're
are we just
putting Rye-mazing on the Iron Man
completely?" We'll have to see. Museum of Contemplation, it's been very comfortable for Sentinels before. Rye-mazing, he briefly hovered onto Iron Man, but it is a good switch over to that White Fox, which I was expecting during that.
They're going back to triple support.
Get away with it without the lock, and now we'll have to see whether they can make sure that they stop really the plan of FlyQuest on the other side.
This is crazy, too. The fact that we're still seeing the Penny right now, I mean, this is who we're expecting it from, right? Dogman has done this with the Penny before. You're taking a huge chunk of that damage, already getting cheeky with it, hiding the mines right underneath the nest of the webs, and you're currently having Crimson trying to control a lot more of this space on that group.
Nice damage as well, just to be able to force back a couple of these guys so that you can actually continue to push as well. But now you are going to see the first ult comes through. The Banhammer is going to be there from the side of FlyQuest just to try and target some of this back line, but Sen are just going to back off, wait for it to dissipate, and then they'll move in and re-engage.
Kind of why it procced out the Emma ban too, right? Because if you're going to be focusing on Crimso's Vanguard lineup, then you got to get rid of that Emma who can get that free charge on these group walls. Susie, though, taking it off Ango, has the Ansong Inferno ready to pressure them back to get the follow-up after we're seeing the dive from Cart being on the Captain America. Beautiful first pick here, too, to find Oasis. LeMay does have that Tia, but everybody's getting stunned as Susie is farming.
He's just loving this Phoenix at the moment. It's so difficult to play against a good Phoenix that is constantly slamming your head like that. Just so much damage output, and again, it just creates a lot of room for everyone else to play the way they want to play, to be honest. And now Sen, they're going to have to reassess how they want to engage here on this one. You can see at the moment the Vanguard's really struggling to even get around the corner because the amount of damage that's arriving from the other side.
Now those walls are getting melted. 99 fire making right here, at least for Tuesday. And trying to show off that skill cape. It's going to now be Melio from the sky as Cart once again harassing this backline. Now finding Usher. No protection here for this backline to really rely on anything as Techie fights Flamay after he uses the Sia.
That bubble's been important from Techie as well, just protecting some of these duelists, not being able to be focused, but there's the Strangling Prison, it does come out, and they are all going to be there for the picking, but the ults will come out on the defensive side from FlyQuest just to keep everyone alive.
We're mentioning Melio too being on this ult on that verticality that this map has, and you come slamming down on top of the wall. Amazing trying to keep them alive here too with the Kumio Unleashed to help us elaborate from Usher's damage output, but it was matched that from FlyQuest's side too. Now you have the Sonic Seduction from the other side to try to find where this annoying cap has been. Dogman looking behind him, but Cart is bouncing around now in a different form on the trampoline. It may not be the Hulk, but it's over here on the Captain America.
Oh,
Sonic Seduction didn't really
bad.
pay off, to be honest. Banhammer now comes out. Can you actually isolate alongside the bubble as well and take down one of these back lines? Well, it doesn't matter because 2C has been able to go off and take down Crimzo and Oasis here. Sure, there's the BRB for one, but the damage is already done here onto Sentinels.
This is insane here to see the amount of damage output that FlyQuest is putting in onto Sentinel's map pick, by the way, as they're the ones rolling out on the attack. Look at these changes, because something needs to be changed here. It's going to be amazing over to the Black Cat. This time, they didn't have to protect it. It's not like they used it in the one game that they did protect it, but we know that Black Cat is great on this map. Get some information, get invisible. Crimzo now rolling out too on the Venom.
Yeah, we need to see something special here from Ryan
Also,
Amazing.
Sentinel's
Otherwise,
about to get
Sentinel's going to
ult.
get held before the first point here from FlyQuest at the moment. And really just going to be one of these situations where you need someone to go off and show what you can do and demonstrate that little bit of something else.
Now time is of the essence, though. He's talking about a little bit of anything. I mean, with 20 seconds left on the clock, now this
If you told me FlyQuest was going to full hold in 2-0 Sentinels, I would call you crazy, chat. I would probably tell you that you're smoking the
have
drugs.
their ultimates in their pocket, velocity too with survivability, and now you go down, delete the Sia with the end song in front of the BRB.
That's what you
May bring back
do,
Usher,
man.
and now
You
Melio
don't
comes
go
in with
try
the
to kill
extermination.
someone with your ult,
Yeah,
chat.
but the trouble
Hitting
is
the
when the
wall
amplifier was
and
down,
doing no
Usher wanted
damage
to
to
be able to
people,
deal
but
that
killing the
damage. Maybe the
amplifier,
BRB
that's
just gives them the
worse.
chance, and
I
actually
did that
the car
yesterday,
going down
and
on
you
the
guys were
cap.
saying I was
That's going to be the
trolling.
opener for Sen, but look at the rest of the squad working together
Oh
and
my.
isolating everyone they can. Sen now having to pop the Galactic Legend just to stay alive.
Now you at least have the Feast of the Abyss here, but Crimzo is falling low. Usher amazing, then follow from the calling card, and they clear the numbers. They force Dogman to go in for a portal play. Is it going to be necessary? They want to put more bodies on the point because now FlyQuest retaliate with Cart making the swap up, getting the portal play, forcing two of the members of Sentinel to back away.
Yeah, they back away, but it is going to be Portal versus Portal, as you had mentioned, and we're going to get an all right down and dirty brawl on the bus. Like your time in high school is now FlyQuest. Can they actually utilize what Velocity has here? Because the dance-off could really just allow them to sustain. Nothing on the side of Sentinels in terms of ultimates yet.
Oh, these portal plates are actually insane. The placement too, just to block out some line of sight here from one side of the cart. But you have to look right now at Amazing. Velocity holding on to the fate of both worlds. It's gonna have the dance of the damage boots on top of it. As 2C is
Nope,
gonna get
Sentinel's
enabled.
got full health.
Nobody looking at Techie, who by the way has been farming in FlyQuest. They wipe the point from Sentinels. They can't even get to that first checkpoint.
That is just crazy, dude.
I mean, insane hold from FlyQuest, really. You have to tip your hat because that was just such an impressive way of constantly answering back. And even with the break at the end, just the quick assessment of, right, we need to get the portal, which I know is default at this point, but being able to actually get through it and still hold, even though Sen had that control. Suddenly, Sentinels
I cannot
now are
believe
very
how
close to losing this
well
one unless
FlyQuest
they
is
can
doing really well.
demonstrate
Wow.
an even better hold on the defensive side here. So what are they going
I
to cook
am-
up? What have they got?
I
Is the
am
morale
really
even there at this
disappointed
point? Because
in
FlyQuest
Sentinels
now
right now, chat.
are going to be feeling
I'm really
so confident
disappointed.
going into it.
Dude, you had Dongman roll out on the penny, make a swap up once they got around that first choke over to the Vanpool, and then, I mean, it's tough. It's tough out here. Sentinels are struggling to breathe air around FlyQuest, and there's just been so much damage output that 2C has been putting into, together with that, and the Phoenix, then enabling Cart and Techie too. But also the flexibility that Cart has been able to shine as the weeks have progressed, Gaskin, has been on another level. Literally each member of FlyQuest have only gone down once.
Oh, man.
This is tough, really, when you're on the side of Sen. Because
Yeah.
you know how to do it. We've seen it demonstrated before, but now it's going to be a lot on this Penny. And a lot on Dongmin here to actually demonstrate how difficult Penny can be to deal with when played correctly. For FlyQuest, that has to be the aim. Eliminate that spider nest immediately, and perhaps it'll be enough to take control.
Now as FlyQuest roll up, Melio sticking over to the Phoenix and Techie to retaliate and creating this space here with these Groot walls. It's Penny over on the other side. Once again, Dogman gonna be sticking on to this side of things after trying to take a flanking angle from right behind FlyQuest when they were originally rolling out on the attack. Right, Amazing now taking to the skies too. On top of this Ultron and Techie taking a huge chip on that damage. We're seeing a 1v1 and Melio gets marked immediately afterwards by Crimzo.
Good work to begin
You know,
with.
realistically
This is what you've
speaking,
got to do.
chat-
You've got to be aggressive whilst being defensive at the same time on the side of Sen. As FlyQuest,
I
they're trying to
actually
bully their way
blame
through at the
100 Thieves
moment,
and
but they are gonna
TTK
have to
for
be
my
sent
prediction
back.
on
One goes
Sentinels
back
because
to
they
the
got
respawn screen,
rolled
so
by Sentinels
they have to
when
reassess
Ryan
how they're
Amazing
trying to
went
shut this one
to
down. And again, a lot of eyes on these spider nests.
when they went Iron Man.
Gotten the fun
I
that we had
believed in
seen from
Sentinels
Melio
after
when he
that
was on the
game, and
Daredevil
now they're going
originally,
back
but
to
on
triple
the Phoenix,
support.
absolutely. You talk
I don't
about
believe
all
in
that
them.
onslaught of damage overall. Clearing
If
the
they make
side
me
of this
lose my
corner, though,
prediction,
and needing some help, it's going
I
to
don't
be
believe in any
Melio
of them.
together with the Invis of Zelos. They've lost out on Cart, though. That's going to be a big pick. Oasis now going to be able to help out everybody and just getting that pick, and Velocity's going to move the rest of FlyQuest up with the Fate of Both Worlds. A nice freeze onto Techie, strangling Prison right around the corner. Now you get the Endsong Inferno from the other side as Dogman finds Juicy, and it's going to be Usher just with a quick reset, though. Is it going to be able to find their mark? But it's just isolating Melio as a threat.
Melio goes down. FlyQuest again are unable to really break out here. So Sen holding strong at the moment, and our ults to work with as well. Dongmin obviously has his, but also Ryan Amazing with the Rage of Ultron there and waiting to try and apply that extra little bit of damage and pressure on the side of Sen. And maybe there's going to be a couple of switch outs from the side of FlyQuest
Is
at
it
the moment.
toxic
just
for me
try
to
and
say
find
that I'm
someone
glad that
who
the
can
team
break
is
out here.
that is running 2-2-2
Extermination
is
now,
winning?
just trying to mark down Techie after he was already won. It forces
I'm
out
glad
the
that the triple
boundary
support
here.
team comp
Back
is
it away
actually
now
getting,
as
like,
Melio
rolled.
also has the Endsong Inferno once again, and Dogman gets frozen after utilizing the
Oh,
Petty.
they broke it, though.
Now to follow up the wombo combo. Susie gets a chunk out of Ryan Amazing, and Melio had already used up that Endsong Inferno here too. Now you have the Sia, combine that together with the Psionic Vortex, and now you have Crimzo finding Melio. I like this combination in this damage output, and Sentinels hold the defense once again at the choke.
Yeah, this is brilliant from Sentinels. This is exactly what they needed, and time now starting to tick away for FlyQuest, but all it needs really is one break, and then suddenly Sen will be on the ropes once more and have to go for desperation plays, and most likely will need a portal to get right back into it quickly before Fly take that point. There are a couple of ults, but
The
Kart
Rocket
does get
got a
taken
kill
out,
on the support,
absolutely
okay.
deleted, and Melio falls as well. So Fly, they're trying different heroes here, trying different ways to take down all of these Sentinel players, but sadly, they have not been able to find the right recipe.
We're talking about the
Yo,
Everband
if
too,
Sentinels
that
wins
Sentinels
this?
put onto
Oh my
FlyQuest,
God.
and this is a very similar situation where Techie being on the Groot is just charging up Crimzo's beam for free. Constantly being at 100 is just on another level, especially if you cannot find the threat that is Crimzo. At least coming into this here, Cart now comes in with the Face of the Abyss. It does mark 2 onto Oasis, and Crimzo does not force out the strategy ultimate from Oasis. Great patience and a great stun onto 2C from Dogman.
Well, they are finally gaining control of this car, and they are finally beginning to push. But now here comes the defensive ultimates from Sentinels as well. Sonic Seduction, plus the dance-off will happen in tandem, but it's going to be a
there you
counter
go.
dance-off. But we will see Yusha able to get the opener as well. Techie goes down, and now they're the extra player in this engagement, and Sentinels might just be able to win this one out, and FlyQuest have to go again.
Hold on now, hold. Maybe seeing a map number 3 on the horizon. You're down less than 17 seconds on the clock, and FlyQuest really only have this invisible boundary.
we go to a
work
map
off of, as
3,
well
this
as
is
Strangling
cinema.
Prison from Techie.
Chat, if
10
Sentinels
seconds.
wins, I need you guys to spam
Got to push now.
cinema.
Is anyone going to switch over to a Doctor Strange here? I don't even know if you've got time, so someone's got to actually force it, and it's not going to
What?
be there.
Ooh.
Sentinels, oh, finally you get the jump on Car. Huge jump on the Venom, but now you've got to show what you can do in this fight. Invisible Boundary comes out from FlyQuest. It's a last-ditch attempt to stay alive.
I think they should have
And
threw
Sen
that,
will also pop the Rage of
that
Ultron.
rocket
Dogman
bolt
also
behind the
starting to
wall,
drop
bro.
mines
They-
everywhere.
No way! And the mines catch Velocity.
No.
Huge first big Velocity now swapping over to the Loki. Just trying to get the God of Bishop even faster. But is it too little, too late? We get the trade-off from both ends. Melio and
No
Ryan
way,
Amazing.
no way.
Finding Techie
Oh
and
my
Flamme.
God, chat,
User,
we're-
though, up in numbers after finding Zealous. No
Sentinels
sustain
did
left.
it!
No time left. As FlyQuest, they get halted. Even with Velocity being right there on the Loki, there is nothing
Sentinel!
FlyQuest could do.
Yo!
Sentinels, they hold them back right before.
It is so good to feel that, you know, my chat didn't believe me, and it feels so good. Everyone cheering. I mean, you can cheer for whoever you want, right? But it feels so good when chat doesn't believe you. They're making fun of you, and they're saying, oh my god, FlyQuest is going to win, and then Sentinels brings it to a map 3. Hey, like I said earlier, Reason Gaming beat Shikigami that first game, and then Shikigami ended up winning the next 2. And you guys didn't believe me that would have happened, and it actually did happen. Listen, it's gonna feel so good stealing all your fake predictions.
Second map here as
Money.
tie up the series. We'll find out what our map number 3 is looking like on the other side of this break.
You were just saying that you were glad that triple support was losing. You cursed. No. I actually cannot believe they held that. That is a crazy hold. I thought it was game. I thought we were going to a map 3. That is insane that they were able to actually hold that, bro. Hey, this is a good series though, man. This is a good series. I'm glad that we got a good series. The first game, the second game of EMEA was really good, and the second game of NA was really good. I don't think the third game is going to be good. SSG against Team Liquid Citadel, I don't think that's going to be a close game. I think Team Liquid Citadel is just going to 3-out 2 of them. I don't want to be... I think they're the best team in NA. Also, Penny. They whipped out the Penny, and we saw a Penny full hold, chat. Putting your minds in that room right there is actually really smart. I like that. I really like that.
Hey guys, my name is Ryan Central, and welcome back to What's the Meta. We're more than halfway through the group stages of stage 1 globe at this point, and the meta footprint.
3 strikes again. You had to say something about triple support losing.
Listen, it is better for us to chat. What would you guys rather see? Would you guys rather see a 2-0 boring snooze fest, or do you guys want to see a map 3, game 3? Like, you know, winner takes all. Bro, you want to see something close. 2 zeros are boring, chat. It's like watching basketball, bro. Like watching or like the NFL. Like, I think last year's Super Bowl was really boring. Like, when you're watching the NFL and one team is just dominating and it's not even close, it's boring. Or seeing NBA go out 4-0 and not a game 7. It's boring, bro. With money on the line, you saying you wouldn't? No! Because I don't put money on the line. I don't gamble, chat. I'm the house. The house always wins. If you guys gamble and get it right, I still take it. If you guys gamble and get it wrong, I still take it.
Good and one of your mainstay vanguards for the time being. That's all standard. We could see that in the games that we saw last week. But what has actually changed? When it comes to big winners, there's none more so than Rocket Raccoon. He didn't just become more popular. Teams discovered just how to win with him, with how he plays. Obviously, he's been buffed over the last couple of seasons, is looking really good. The likes of Be Right Back.
I don't get it. Listen, you guys are just mad that I could do this, and you guys have no channel points.
Hard to eliminate anybody because you've got the likes of Devil
Listen,
Dinosaur.
get your money up so you can do this.
Instantly brings him back into the fray.
Get your money up, chat.
The team up with Star-Lord is obviously very good because Star-Lord...
I will be sending those pictures to myself.
With his survivability. The fact that a Daredevil,
you guys are not going to be able to redeem that.
Try to eliminate him and he's able to sneak out. Goes to show a lot of what the strategists can do to make sure that they...
I keep trying, but you keep leading me astray.
Resource generation.
Sentinels are winning. I did not lie to you guys.
Everybody is a key thing to win out.
Sentinels are winning, bro. You know what? I have taken so many channel points, I'll just do this as well.
A metric ton of healing too. So yeah, Rocket is one of the main winners when it comes to...
You know what? I'll throw in another one.
The rankings when it comes to not only a protect priority, but also a ban priority.
You know what?
And his win rate when one team gets him and the other one doesn't is pretty high. One of the highest.
I'll throw in another one.
2/3 of the time high. So yeah. He's good.
And
because Rocket got stronger,
another one.
One of the characters that benefits
another one. By the way, do you want this?
Answer to him got stronger too. That being Phoenix, Jean Grey. She's very good at destroying the...
Yes, you're eating your cooking.
She benefits from Rocket's resources. Damage boost into a solo Jean Grey when you're running triple strategist is a great way to actually find eliminations in high sustain. and he just synergizes really well. With
Yo, Tundra, appreciate massive 2 months. Okay, chat, hold on. I'm gonna put my dishes downstairs because I don't want to make a mess, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Sort of falling out of the fray. And because these two have shot up in popularity, some of the other options that we're trying to contest them have.
A hug. Appreciate the massive gift of the sub, my friend. Absolutely
and
insane.
one of the major ones actually for
Appreciate it.
Black Cat.
Okay,
He
chat.
remains a popular hero for teams, but we're not seeing teams nearly spend as much like capital guaranteeing access to her. A protect cost, she was a common like, we want to protect this character so it doesn't get banned. We're going to try and one-side it if we can. That hasn't really worked. Like, the win rate is still pretty underwhelming, like under 50%. If a team gets Black Cat and the other team doesn't, they don't win the majority of the time because other stuff is banned out as an option. So Black Cat just isn't providing that much when it comes to the draft. It just seems that teams are still playing her, but they're like, there's no point protecting her because it just isn't that worth it. And also, we're not going to ban her because we want to get some of the other characters out that we've mentioned instead if we can. It just feels like Black Cat is fine, but she's not super strong that we need to get rid of her fine, or protect her in this case. She's just not being treated as a hero that you must secure. But she's not the only one that's sort of dropped down. Like, White Fox's popularity has gone down, Captain America's popularity has gone down, Luna even, who's quite high up in the rankings, has dropped a good chunk, as has Ultron, who isn't seen half as much as before. Not because they're objectively worse characters, it's just because Rocket and Jean Grey are demanding a lot more attention from teams, and that sort of attention needs to come from somewhere. I am really curious to see what we see in like the last week of groups, considering at least for like EMEA and Americas, there's a month we're going to have Cyclops in the game when we get to stage 1 playoffs. So the meta is going to change a lot. So I'm excited to see what this last week of action is going to give us before we go into season 8.5. But I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the action.
Hello and welcome back from our absolute chaotic map number 2 between FlyQuest and Sentinels, and that was the most Sentinels way to win a map. My god, this group is officially on chaos alert. I mean, if you just look at what the possibilities are, from Sin looking like they're comfortably into the playoffs to FlyQuest now looking like they're about to win that. We've all been there, right? Where, you know, you have a great first hold, you can't possibly lose, and then you run into a Penny comp without Dino Vicky. What the hell did I just watch?
No Penny, no Bucky to retaliate. It was on the table. I was wondering Moon Knight to break through chokes. Nope, none of that. Actually, Penny just holding them back, as well as the Emma, who did get to go through for Sentinel. So now you get to see that from the other side, as Yusher is going to be your MVP. And that Phoenix also, as well as the adjustments from Yusher, were on fire, also marking down the threat that was 2C from FlyQuest.
Yeah, Yusher has just been an absolute stud
Oh,
for this team.
right,
Not to
amazing
mention
on
they have vision
yes.
on the bench, right? Like,
Yeah.
they have so much play potential. And there's just, I mean, just when you count them out, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this group or Sentinels alone just continue to find a will and a way. And my gosh, I mean, they say Museum is their map, and it's looking like it. You guys can... I mean, what do you make of map 3 here? I mean, what do you even change? What are we looking at after that chaos?
I mean, they need to find another map where they can use Penny defensively like that, to be honest, because it just gave them such room for victory. I know, sadly, they're not going to be picking the map here, so I think that's probably the flip side here. You've got to make sure you don't pick a map that Penny can be successful on here if you are FlyQuest. But I said it. I said about Sentinels, they have to get a better defense than we just saw, and they said bet. And honestly, hats off to them. Very impressive performance. It wasn't just the Penny either. It was everyone working around the Penny, protecting those spider nests to make sure they couldn't be removed, to make things difficult, but also just the web from the Penny as well, being able to stun some of those duelists just when you thought they were going to be able to get through and take down the nest. Very well played from entire team on Sentinels.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought we wouldn't have Thanos in this game before we had Penny being played as just like an anchor pick to secure the victory without even the double nest of old, like just crazy chaos. They continue
Okay,
to
sorry.
run to success
I put the
as well.
dishes downstairs and I had to go
Dino is
pee.
What I thought kind of stood
My
out
bad.
even more, because Dino Penny's crazy, but to get that to work for that 0.1 hold.
Sorry, chat.
They're going to look at the way that they've been holding 0.1 in particular, Sentinels. And they've done a great job at that, especially on such a popular map that so many people just are looking for
Who's
those
the middle
bits
caster's
of
name?
edges to give you
It goes
that
Cozy,
win. But yeah, FlyQuest now
Vicky
kind of can
Kitty,
take it a little bit into their own
and,
control, a little bit of turbulence there, but now they get to pick the map, Vicky. But now it's a little bit mental. Like, you gotta
Oh
kind of
god,
reset after a loss
Gaskin.
like
there
that,
you go.
right?
Not gas.
And with what's
Lynn.
at stake,
Big
we'll
portals
get into
tomorrow
more
for
of the
you.
picture,
Guru.
'cause
You
Trust me, we're
pissed
trying to
me
work it
off
out
with
here.
the
It's
portals,
kind
man.
of nuts what happens
God
if Fly
damn
loses
it.
and then you have like a
But
3-4
you
way
did
tie.
win.
We'll get to there. But Vicky, for this map, how do you get to that
But I
point
will
for
say
FlyQuest
those
to, try to
portals
get the
piss
job
me
done?
off.
It's the fact that this is the first Game 3 situation for
Yeah.
Sentinels, everybody, and also like.
But if
I
it
love you brought
works,
up
it
the
works.
Dino.
I
just have to
can't be
reiterate
mad.
that point because it's kind of like that watered down Dino gameplay
How you doing,
of
man?
the bread and butter where you get the Emma grab.
Also, I
and,
love
right,
the
you get
interview.
follow up with
How did you
pettiness.
guys win? I don't
there's so
know.
much
We
to
just
break down
won.
on that. I think for map
I
number
love
3,
that.
considering that it is going to be the first map 3 that we see Sentinels kind of
What's
pull
up,
up
Bubba? Come
here,
here.
this isn't their
Come
map
say hi
pick,
to
right?
Guru.
So if you're
Come on.
FlyQuest here, you want to
say hi
deny
to
maybe
Guru.
some of that verticality that Sentinels likes to rely on. If you could expect them to play around flyers that they so much enjoy, but also expect that left field comp from probably coming up because that's kind of how you catch your opponent slipping as we are moving on to Heart of Heaven.
I thought, okay, so I was going to aim either here or Lower Manhattan. They've gone to both. Lower Manhattan
Do
is
you
a
have
little
any
crazy, especially if you
intel
feel like you have
on
better ult tracking and mechanics. Like you
Cyclops
probably
Cross?
don't go with
Yes.
that map. Heart of Heaven is the other
Cyclops.
map
I don't
that
want you guys to
FlyQuest,
tell
even going
anyone.
back to preseason Gaskin have played well on, and it really
But
leans
Cyclops
to
is
the
coming
way that
out
this team comp
next
and ultimately
Friday.
the hero pool is for Fly.
Yeah,
And
definitely
Wednesday,
a advantage
before
dive
that Friday is
competition
gonna
as
be
well.
the
If you can
preview
find
stream.
someone who is comfortable
It's gonna be a lot of
wandering
fun.
around the map and not worrying
Also,
about
I don't know
the
about you guys,
kind of
but
fog that's
Cyclops,
going to be there, denying vision
he
from other
usually
people,
has, like,
taking
these
advantage of
lasers
that
coming
as
out of his
well,
eyes.
then you're
Pretty
gonna be in
cool.
a really good spot here. But that being said, Sentinels are also capable of doing that as well. So it's not like this is going to be a tap-in for FlyQuest.
Also,
but we do get the
good luck
instant
tomorrow, by the
protect
way.
onto Phoenix yet again. It's a very clear game plan here for FlyQuest.
Good luck tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow.
Because you're going to see a lot of hero rotation. There's counter picking involved, Vicky, obviously, but the way that point 1 is so different than a lot of the rest of the map. So I do like the front to back that FlyQuest is probably trying to achieve here. A lot of the same going from Sentinels. The Mantis Band right away, though.
Good luck to who? Guru, chat.
Honestly, a lot of what I would expect them to roll with, and triple strap may be off the table.
Yeah, also, like, I think this is the first time we hear Heart of Heaven. I just heard the music, and I was like, man, I haven't heard that one in a long time, especially since we haven't had a
Cyclops
Game
was
3 situation.
created
They're
by
not off the
Stan
table,
Lee
too,
and Jack
as Sentinels
Kirby.
want to try to prioritize that. FlyQuest, though, indicating that
Stan
Star-Lord
Lee
is a problem as the Captain
collaborated
America
with that
save
little
comes
pink
through from Sentinels after they were expecting
game guy?
FlyQuest to go for the 3
Kirby?
back-to-back Captain America band.
Who gives a
didn't
damn
know
about
Kirby's
the
name was
T-Rex, man?
Jack.
It's like, I love it because all the, earlier in the day, earlier in the week, or in the stage 1, it's so much dino priority now. It's like neither team. Are
Oh,
paying
Sentinels
attention
saved
to the
Captain
way that it
America.
works, and
Oh, you know
Cap
what
is
they're
such a
gonna do.
big save, I think, here, Gaskin for Sentinels. I like the pick.
And yeah, they remove Ultron, so neither team going to be banning away Dino, so that either means we get a Dino face-off or just no Dinos at all across the board because both teams have been able to find a way to play so comfortably
see
without
this.
the Dino here. I like removing
How-
Ultron though because we've seen that
how
Ultron did kind of
strong
get added to the
is-
mix for FlyQuest and just
how
making
strong
sure that they can
actually
have that little bit
is
of extra spice if they wanted to go for the trip strike.
Yeah, they're going to be able to have Rocket again. You have to burn down
Cyclops.
both teams for that Dino.
Marvel.
Immediately, one side having the Star-Lord over it. Obviously, if you look at the hero pool, sometimes you'll have Tuesday go over to that, but I think with the Phoenix safe, that's what they'll lean more on. It's FlyQuest Sentinels.
Cyclops
best of
is one of
3, and we
Marvel's
find
most
ourselves
formidable
in by far the
non-Omega level
must-watch
mutants,
match of the day,
processing
maybe
a
the week.
power
Here
output
we
that
go,
Iron
Gaskin,
Man
Vicky.
once
Take it away.
calculated at over 2
Alrighty,
gigawatts per
Gaskin,
second.
our final map in our second series to open up our last week of our group
Huh?
stages. It's been
His
crazy to see
iconic
how we
optic
very
blasts
rarely
do
have
not
these
fire
Game 3 situations
lasers.
play out,
Instead,
but it
they
means that a
act
lot
as
of
an
these teams are only getting
interdimensional
better.
portals
And
that
I'm
strike
interested to also
targets
see how
with
this
near
Ultron band is
limitless,
gonna work out too for
heatless
Sentinels,
kinetic
because
force.
this basically means that they believe here Yusher could be able to dip that of Tusi. I mean, there was a lot of respect over to the Star-Lord that Yusher has been able to pull out with, and when you talk about Heart of Heaven, especially when it comes to that first
The
choke,
punch
when it comes to
dimensions,
going
Scott
outside the
Eyes
gates,
act
going
as-
through the
what the
rooftops,
hell?
it could be a really
Okay, anyways,
tricky on how to take an off angle around a Star-Lord that knows how to navigate around.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of changes for both teams here going on this first point. If things
Okay, chat,
go
let's see
wrong,
this. Match 3.
FlyQuest, though, going to allow Kart to be playing on that Hulk, which is always very exciting for us and viewers alike because we know how good he can be on this Hulk and how much pressure he can apply as well. But Sen, can they hold just as well as they did in the previous here, or will FlyQuest be able to break?
Find out here as the bubble's already bursted here. You can see the Hulk jumping right on top, trying to burn out even more of those cooldowns before jumping right down. You sure it's going to be that face-off, though, as Tusi is not even relying on the Phoenix. Actually going to go over to the Elsa, the fine Ray Amazing out of the sky, forcing out the BRB to already be used this early.
Very early use, right?
Grand.
Amazing's going to get back
3,006
up, though,
How you
and
doing?
now
How
you
you
can
doing?
see it's a little bit of a gathering underneath as everyone's trying to group together to protect one another.
I
But
really
Kai
love
Stag
Hulk
forced them
plays,
back.
man.
The
Hulk is
FlyQuest
so fun to
are now
watch.
on the point, but there is also a little bit of contention as well. Crimzo doing very well with the Captain America to force them back once more as FlyQuest just have to retreat here. So neither team feeling comfortable in this engagement at the moment.
The way that Cart has just been the raid boss, right? The immediate respect. Ooh, beautiful marking right here, too, on the Banhammer. Unfortunate for Flamave as he forced it back away. Some extra pressures, and they're going to be able to just stay grouped up together inside this side room. And now you're trying to get the stun. He gets blocked off
I mean,
by the
Sentinels
White
is
Fox
grouping up
shield.
and all that
But
stuff,
look
but
at
yo,
this
FlyQuest is
pressure
taking all the...
that FlyQuest is standing on business. The
area.
Sentinels are forced to play in the back line, forcing Crimzo to come right back over on the Captain America, the Sia now from Flamay. But now with that stun, after Crimzo is forced to come back from the BRB, there is nobody left from Sentinels to contest on the point.
Not a good hold from
valiant
Sentinels,
attempt
chat.
to jump
Not
on
a
his cap,
good
but
hold.
instantly deleted as soon as you had. And now FlyQuest, where they struggled to break through on Museum of Contemplation, they do manage to break through the first point here and at least get that convoy now on its way to get point one. As Tuzi is going to have Glass Rocks available. Velocity also going to be able to work in tandem with a lot of the
I know
damage
it worked
output
the
from
last
Melio.
game,
Maybe they'll
but
save that for the
I'm
Galactic
sorry,
Legend
I
as
really
well,
don't
once they drop
think
that one. But
3
Sen,
supports
plenty to
is
do
it,
on their
man.
defensive side as Rymazing again is going to have a lot of work to do here on this Ultra.
All right, still alive as they find and isolate Cart. Oh my goodness, I just witnessed a crime right now. And you have the Glortars coming in together as the Wombo combo from Velocity and the Sia Tusi enabled, finding a lot of this extra damage. The extermination was also forced out from Rymazing rather, to get everybody up alive and healthy. And you have the Kumio Unleashed now from Sentinels. Crimson could also solve for a very long time from that Freedom Charge that boosts up everybody's ultimate charge too.
And you're also just going to see the advantage of having the Phoenix here for Yusha in terms of that focus. Now you will see the Ensong Inferno come out to try and target, but Galactic Legend at the same time gets popped here for FlyQuest. But can they actually convert into
Damn,
any
that
damage
Captain
at all?
America
And
ult
maybe some
saved
KOs that are gonna go in their
everyone,
favor. It
dude.
looks like
That
the
is
answer's gonna be no
wild.
there, so well held by Sentinels.
The Ultimate's being a little staggered here too, using the Ensong Inferno for a reset to try to max out of Velocity, who will have a Sia very shortly. Crimzo finding Zelos. Nice little hold here, but they've lost out on two. Rymazing making a swap off of Ultron because it's not working out when you're on the receiving end of that damage between Melio and Tusi.
He's on
Tusi is
DPS
so fun to watch
finally,
on the
chat.
Elsa, by the way. It's great to
Finally.
see Elsa still being used here in this meta, thinking that maybe you wouldn't see as much of her. But of course, with Phoenix getting banned, it does just open up a little bit of a different style of poke available to you. And they are still pushing the turtle at the moment. They're still making it work. Here are FlyQuest, and they are getting closer to that next Glatrox available for them as well.
That's straight confidence, right? Even having that available
Dude,
here, being
he just
on
sat
the
there and
Elsa
took it?
Cart, finding another victim. Cart on this map, especially on Hulk, it's so scary. Look at this, burning down the Sia immediately right afterwards, but it still allows time for Sentinels to follow up. Flambe getting away with having that active. Awaits is very close to that Camille Unleashed, but Cart
such
finds another
that was a weird
victim.
camera.
Rymazing has barely been able to play very much, and now he is close to letting the Devil out after making that swap over to the Daredevil and finding Zelos coming back from the BRB.
This is what I was talking about on this map as well. If you can play someone who can dive, you can take full advantage of the map to your advantage. And Rymazing has done just that at the moment on the Daredevil, but you will see now FlyQuest switch on over. It's the Ensong Inferno as Dongmin gets removed, as Tuzi is able to at least get the final hit onto that one. For Rymazing again, getting up and behind FlyQuest here with Let the Devil Out.
Someone look at Tusi. He's just harassing everyone in the backline. This is actually insane. You talk about watching Tusi overall and how fun
Where the
it's
hell
been to
is
see him on the
Tusi?
Elsa, but nobody from Sentinels is even looking in his direction. No front row seats instead. It is going to be
I just want to say,
Melio, but it's a great
Sentinels
stall. They had
went
the number
to,
advantage,
got off that
forcing
triple
FlyQuest to
support
back away 'cause
swap,
Melio
and hey,
is close
guess
to that
what?
Galactic Legend.
They're actually holding.
FlyQuest are playing this patiently, though. They're waiting until everyone's grouped. This is good. You don't want to just force in and stagger everyone and allow Sen to just slowly pick you off. Instead, they've grouped, and now they will start to finally press a little bit onto the turtle. And it's going to be Crimzo, though, who opens us up with Freedom Charge here just to create all that space for Sen. And it just allows Yusha to apply that pressure, but Melio has now switched over to the Daredevil as well. This is what I wanted. Dive versus dive. Give me two players who are so comfortable. But the Ensong Inferno does get one onto Zelos, and Sen are winning this one out right now.
But their backline got destroyed between Melio and Cart. And right now, even though Yusha is finding the heads over onto Tusi, Dogman's creating the space, staying alive. Also has that ban hammer here.
Ooh, nice little turnaround to get the kill, but
action makes you think,
gotta get on the
what
cart, man.
season
Gotta
we're
get on the
actually
cart.
on. And Vample's still getting a lot more of that gameplay and trying to create that space with these bubbles too. Velocity's very close. That's C, and Dogman Oasis could also get the follow-up as Oasis can get the reset with the hit shot.
Yeah, Elsa plus Van Poel. It does feel like we've traveled back in time a little bit as Jeff does come out in the end. As FlyQuest now going to try and respond with potentially let the devil out, and there it is. Melio is going to have it available.
No,
Jeff gets absolutely deleted off the map, so that's gonna allow
chat,
now
what are we
the
doing,
opener
man?
for FlyQuest to
We're
just
fumbling.
rain on through and do so much damage.
We're
into
fumbling,
Sen,
bro. We're
and
fumbling.
Maybe just push this one over to the point, and they will do so. So FlyQuest able to get that second, and Sen have to fall back despite a valiant effort.
Oasis and Flamme are trying so hard to stay alive, and it is just Cart and Melio harassing them.
That's
and right
worse
when they
than
try
mine.
to get out of their line of sight,
Jeffel.
guess who's right there in an open line of sight is going to be Tusi, who's been taking these cheeky.
Kurova's
off
on the
angles and
bench,
has the
chat. I don't know
Lartox
why
ready.
he's on the bench, but he's on the bench.
Is there going to be any switch up again?
Maybe
though,
it's just a
from
preference
Sen?
thing.
Is
They
gonna be my
practice
question.
all the time with this roster, and they think
Amazing.
this is the
Gonna try and use
roster.
that let devil
So
out, see if he can do some damage on the back
it's
line,
just
but
comfortable.
FlyQuest have been
They're
defending
comfortable
very
on
well,
it.
with Zealous on White Fox, of course, have just had so much answer to the dive potential from Sen, but a lot of it has come down to Cart on that Hulk yet
Dude.
again with the pressure that he applies.
Playing a different game, I just have to reiterate. Cart using the World Breaker, trying to back away. They shut them down immediately afterwards, turn him into the Bruce Banner form, but it forced outright Mazing to let the devil out. He finds Cart in the process, only finding that one, and FlyQuest are so quick to try to kite away. I mean, they have to after losing out on Melio.
Yeah, they have to, otherwise they're just going to allow Sen to really step up and force them back once more and just keep them at bay.
Kurova to 100 Thieves start the petition.
They've already got it pretty far, but of course they will want the full three.
I don't
to
know
try and apply all of
did
that
100
pressure to
Thieves
Sen
pick
as well.
anyone up?
Freedom Charge
No,
is going to be
right?
available, and again, we might see Freedom Charge into Ensong Inferno as a wombo combo to create that
Release
pressure,
the
get
cough
damage,
drops,
but it's
they
the
gotta
Glartox,
pick.
which is the first opener.
The Glartox is so hungry, I wouldn't even want to play Dino into this too, right? You'd be in the line of sight and easy pickings as they assemble the troops.
picked Self
with
up
the
a little bit
Freedom
a while
Charge.
ago.
It's gonna be
I'm talking about, like, the current
retaliated with
offseason,
Zelos
or not the
having that
offseason,
Kumio unleashed now. Cart does find Usher. Now we have Cart.
Yeah,
making
preseason
the
and now,
adjustments after
right?
swapping off the Hulk. Did enough of that spacing here and wants to stop for as long as possible because time is of the essence for FlyQuest. They're down 20 seconds in timing here to get to the third checkpoint.
Yeah, they're down on ult economy as well, and you're going to see it right here, right now from Sen as they're going to be the first ones to pop, but very quick
goodness.
deletion of it. Yeah, yes, it came out, but it wasn't necessarily going to be enough, and now
Yeah,
you see
also,
the counter
Kurova
on the
can play
side
a
of
lot more
FlyQuest
than just
with
Adam,
one
chat.
of their own, and they are still pushing this one, and with 2 players down from Sen, FlyQuest started to take advantage.
No, Melio is just running it down right now, holding onto the spawn room gates right alongside Cart, who is diving
This is not looking
alongside
good
him
for
here.
Sentinels.
We need bodies, though, on the point for Sentinel. They contest. It's going to be Dogman, but he gets fried. It's going to be alongside Techie and Tusi, who deal a lot of that damage. Usher with the reset, Ensong Inferno, just to desperately keep this going and do all the extra damage, but nobody has stopped Melio, who is taking
This is
every head
not
out of
looking
Sentinels,
good.
and now
Oh,
has
it's
let
looking
them
good.
out
It's
until
looking
the very
good. It's
moment
not
Dogman
looking
shutting
good.
them down. 2 members
It's not looking
off
good.
the table as now FlyQuest are
Oh,
trying
it's
to
looking good. It's
secure
looking
this
good.
point.
It's looking good.
Yeah, Dogman's
Oh,
done
it's looking real
massively.
good.
Absolute
Oh, it's looking
works
real good.
going in favor as well for Sen because they are
Oh,
just
it's
doing
not looking
everything
good.
they
It's
can
not
to
looking
stay
good.
alive.
Oh, it's looking
Xavier
good.
support,
It's not
or
looking
maybe if
good.
you could just
It's
disable
looking
one second,
good.
but not quite. It was almost there. They were desperately
That's a
trying
good push
to.
from FlyQuest, though.
FlyQuest cannot quite get that third point here, Vic, but they do get it bloody far indeed, and it's going to be hard work for Sen to try and match that.
Oh my gosh, the way that that cap got put in the microwave, by the way.
That is-
the
it's
Charm
basically
getting
a
quick
full
little
push, yeah.
double right there.
Techie, no, sorry,
Sentinels.
Tuzi is
Jeez, all
21
right, that was
and
very,
3
very
with 12
difficult here, too,
finals.
but the
Melio
adjustments came through,
as well
right?
popping
Mazing
off.
is trying to help out the backline while also trying to gut the 3-2-1
And they're
dive
starting
together with
Ryan
Crimzo.
Mazing on DPS,
It's been a
thank
difficult
you.
time here, but the adjustments that we have currently seen from FlyQuest, they were trying to at least close in that gap. Melio was popping off, but they did lose out. I believe it was Velocity very early on, and then they made that adjustment to getting the portal play just a little too late.
Dogman,
Whose
though,
map
on
pick
the
was this?
ban
Oh, this
pool,
was FlyQuest
like,
map pick.
Because
Uh-oh.
without that, it was 3. He was quick to dash onto the point, making sure you switch into from guns to those blades as well, so you get that little bit of an extra dash. So they were there, he then placed up, and now we're going to see the switch over potentially to a Penny as well to try and help out Sen, but we'll see if that actually sticks. Because it certainly was a really good push from FlyQuest, right? But now defensively, can they match that?
A lot of that, too, was time wasted away from FlyQuest originally on when they were on the attack versus Sentinels, who were trickling in, trying to waste more time away before that second checkpoint here. Benefited them to make the adjustments and to work into that old economy. And Dogman, are we going to be seeing rolling out? All right.
I was
He
going to say,
did
on attack,
great.
it just wouldn't make sense, right? I mean,
No. I was going to say, we didn't get the penny before. It's true.
But here we
Especially if
go.
you get cheeky, too, with it in the fog as well. But now you're able to hold on to this rooftop here, Gaskin, over for FlyQuest, but Melio is still sticking to the Daredevil.
No, back to the
Rooftop battle is
support,
where we
man. Back
engage
to the
once more
support.
as well, and good positioning as well from Velocity at the moment. Just going to be able to support so much with the heals from that kind of angle, just bouncing them off the roof.
I mean, I
over
kind of
and over
like
again, but Tuesday gets
the
opener
Ultron here. The
onto
Ultron plays the
May.
high ground with them, and they try to take the high
Maybe we'll have
ground
to
and
back out
then
of this
move from
fight unless
there.
anyone can convert with one of their own, because they're going to be at the numbers disadvantage.
So much on the line here just for this attack alone. Very winnable still for FlyQuest here. Techie already having that banhammer. Cart looking to dive in together with a 3-2-1 alongside Melio before backing away. I love the peels that we're seeing. The charm forcing them to just back away here, but they're just trying to force Sentinel to take a roundabout position.
So hard to keep tabs on what to do with the brawlers. You will see the quick deletion of the BRB as well. Very important to do that. Otherwise, it could have got ugly as Melio is going to find the first. Tuzi follows with one of his own. And now with Dogman falling, Sen will lose this engagement, have to back off, and more time goes in favor of FlyQuest. It's a fantastic hold to kick us off
Dong
here.
a petty main? I don't think he's a petty main. He actually has he plays Strange a lot. I know when I first saw him, he has a really good Strange.
Amazing quickly got off that Ultron.
I wish Strange was more meta, bro. Strange is actually like a really fun tank.
This backline of Sentinels, it's difficult. Even your BRB getting marked down by Tusi, who's hanging out on the rooftops. Are amazing now, trying to dive in, forcing out more utility before getting right back to their strategist. Sees the Captain America, gets the marking, just to help peel to keep them alive. And Yusher does have the Endsong Inferno to deal with that velocity once Asia's out.
Yeah, Yusha was just trying to create a little bit of poke so that Rymazing could find that KO onto those who are on the high ground at the moment, but FlyQuest have so much ults to work with. It's going to be the Galactic Legend that is going to be popped alongside Rocket, and it will just allow them to get the first couple in their favor. But with that being said,
oh, they're committing to it. They're committing.
But it was just a shy late from helping out Yusher, unfortunately going down, and also didn't have the opportunity to use the Endsong Inferno from how cheeky of an angle that Sia was, too, and having to get through that choke. Oasis,
oh, no.
Oh
no, bro. This might be game chat. This is GG's, bro.
Only leaving Flamay alive.
This might be a GG's.
Time starting to tick away for them, but the ult economy is fantastic.
I think this might be GG's, chat. This is going to be the first prediction I get wrong of the day. They do have
freedom charge as well, though, that they can use. So it's not like they're going to be out of options here in this next engagement, but Sen certainly have more to work with on their side. And it feels like if it's going to be any time, it has to be here, Vicky.
Good amount of damage here from Yusher, but once again, the sustain is there for FlyQuest. You start things off with the Sia, and you're gonna let the devil out if you're Rymazing. Again, these swaps really helping them out, and it marks out Melio, but the PRB brings him right back. All that hard work as Cart assembles the troops and gets the freedom charge.
You know what I think it is?
Over to the point,
I don't know what happens, chat, with their scrims, but I think Sentinel scrims probably with this triple support, so they're just so used to playing with triple support. And Rymazing is a great DPS player, but I think when he goes to DPS, they just don't have the practice maybe with him on DPS because they're always running him with triple.
Dropping off. They're trying to stall a little bit, maybe trying to stall for a strange portal, but I think it's a bit of a stretch. No, they just about get the strange portal, but is it going to be enough? When you are
they
such
actually
a
capped. Wow.
The answer is
they actually capped. I thought they were going to get
full
full health.
And get their chance to continue in this game, and most importantly, Vicky, in this series.
Karova did say on his stream that they scrimmed triple. Oh my
they
god.
Lose here to FlyQuest. FlyQuest, though, on the other side, they did well defensively going into that first point. Now they need to find a similar strategy here, and certainly with Melio playing this way, alongside Cart, they're going to make this a living hell for Sentinels.
Both teams literally playing for their playoff lives right now. They want some room of comfort, and Flamay brings back Rymazing. Now Dogman slowly but surely creating that space, forces out the teleport from the white box, destroys that BRB while he was at it. And Zelos is just looking at a whole different game. Dogman giving him whiplash before backing away, and it's also allowing Yusher to have more space to play with. They lose out on Dogman after overextending just a little bit from the other side.
There's a Endsong Inferno to use as a get out of jail free card if you need it, even if it's not going to convert into a KO. It might just keep you alive and allow you to stay in that fight a little bit longer, as Rymazing and Melio are going toe-to-toe at the moment on the Daredevils. But who's actually going to be able to win that out, and who's going to be able to get a little bit of support? It's Tuzi in the end who pops the Galactic Legend.
Although you have the Endsong Inferno to finally enter back.
Oh my god, Rymazing.
Amazing, great patience and calms coming out from Sentinels right there, actually. And following up between Yusher and now Rymazing can let the devil out, but it's going to be matched out, as you already mentioned, between Melio, as Rymazing and Dogman find 2 more out of FlyQuest.
We are very much amidst the brawl meta, and it is very messy to try and keep up with for some of these players. If you are not on your toes and you are not quick to react, you can get deleted by a team that quickly punishes you as they get behind. And now Sentinels, they will have Amazing to have the Let Devil out, and maybe with the Seer, they can actually do some real damage here. And Crimson has Freedom Charge, so actually this is going to be the perfect chance as both sides, the Daredevils.
Oh my God. Go, Amazing, go. Go, Amazing, go. They had this guy on Ultron and White Fox, by the way, chat. They had this guy on White Fox and Ultron.
To clear this point, they need the extra space. They're down a minute, less than 3 seconds on this attack, and they need to be able to keep harassing them. You see the 1-2 between Crimson, and you already mentioned that Freedom Charge to boost them all up and for the stall potential.
The important thing to remember here is FlyQuest did that first point a lot quicker than Sen did. So Sen are going to have less time to try and work with towards second and third point at the moment. But FlyQuest, they will get one chance to reset here. And, you know, the problem is, are they going to get the Strange back in time if they need it for that portal? Of course, the 140-second reset after they used it on that first point, as now you will see Freedom Charge coming out from Sen.
That is such a good point here, too. Is it going to be burned down off of the pool here? But a great install here. Now just trying to keep everybody alive. Sentinels dealing a huge chunk of this damage, though. Clearing the point is going to be FlyQuest with a Kumi Unleashed together with Zelos. And Techie also has that Banhammer. Just trying to find the isolation if they can mark down Amazing. And Yusher is going to get the reset off the Ensong Inferno.
Oh, shit, they got to pick. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We actually might go to a map. What do you call it? A third point.
Alive, and Cart 2. And now the rest of FlyQuest
oh, my God, chat. We're actually going to a third point.
The second checkpoint here.
It's only a minute and a half, though.
There's not going to be any sort of shenanigans with Strange, but maybe there can be a Strange portal used a little bit later.
A minute and a half, chat. A minute and a half.
That last point anyway, it's not really going to matter too much. It's about diving on and jumping in. As FlyQuest, they allow that second point to come through, but now they have 1 minute and 15 on the clock to try and defend here. Sen are not going to have much opportunities to try and break through, so they need to be winning these engagements, and losing out on Amazing is not the way you want to start.
This is so close. Oh my goodness. Sitting on the edge of my seat right now, Gaskin, as everything is on the line in the next 60 seconds. Can we all unleash now for Oasis just to help them follow up? Amazing gets in that big, but the Glock shot
is it still crazy that I don't think I don't think Sentinels is going to win this?
It's telling a different story, but it's fine. Crimson comes, follows up onto Amazing, and Tusi's forced him back away.
I mean, it's Crimson Amazing against Melio at the moment, and it's just
I don't think Sentinels is winning this, chat, bro.
Because Melio was on his own.
That's
Cart
not a
was
jinx.
Down, but Cart working with Melio.
They have
try and
30
do the same thing on the other
seconds.
side, but now Cart switching over to Hulk here for FlyQuest is all they have to do really now.
Nah,
With
I
25
don't
seconds
think so.
left, FlyQuest need to win one fight, and it should be enough to win this game, win this series, and also push them closer towards playoffs, of course. As for Sen, though, they have tools in their arsenal. Amazing's going to start us off.
Playoff lives on the line here, and a completely different look of Amazing, who was 12-8 after that last round, and now Melio too was 18-6, and now changing things up as Crimson follows up with the BRB, bringing one back here as Tusi's coming into the mix. Velocity still has that Sia. Overtime, forced to be activated.
Oh no, Sentinels doesn't.
Let the devil out.
Sentinels, you gotta pop that catapult, bro. You guys got no support ults.
Onto the white box, a BRB coming in clutch.
Okay,
Yeah,
still 6v6, still 6v6.
Onto Melio, just made him back off a little bit, but now you can see
Oh my God!
Will pop, and it takes down Zelos.
They're not winning. They're not winning, chat. I still don't think they're winning. Sentinels doesn't win.
Need to throw everything at this.
Oh my gosh, overtime now taking
They have no ults. They have no ults. FlyQuest is getting their ults, chat. I don't think they win.
They all need to look at him without giving too much space for the rest of FlyQuest to trickle in.
Oh my God, bro. They had this win in the bag, bro. They had this win in the bag and they sold it.
Not going to really help them in this situation because FlyQuest have been able to find 1, 2, 3, and they hold here to win the series.
4 meters, bro. 4 meters. That was a good game.
Sunday.
No way, FlyQuest! They do it! They wipe the points in a very intense final fight.
Wow,
We're
what
building up
a
momentum,
series,
and
bro.
it was all for naught as FlyQuest
grand for
turned
6
things
months.
up
Appreciate
in their
it.
favor. What a series to open up
Why
our
are you
first
laughing?
day here in our final week here. But Cozy, I want to get your thoughts because that was actually